Hey guys, this is Valkrin. Today I want to talk to you about rebuilding your League of Legends potential. And what I mean by that is a rediscovery of why you play League of Legends and where you want to end up. I feel like a lot of players have lost sight of why they want to play League of Legends and where they want to end up in ranked ladder. I feel like there's a lot of false understanding of how to play the game. And this varies in whatever bracket you're in, because in each different bracket, players will view the game a different way. In lower brackets, they view the game as a linear progression where you lane phase, then you group, and then you team fight, and if you win, then you win the game. And I feel like there's even more misunderstanding on each individual aspect of the game that just kind of floats around. But the problem is players aren't trying to relearn and redefine these false understandings because they don't believe them to be false. And it's each individual's job in solo queue to find your own flaws and try and fix it. And what you can do by, how you can figure this out is you can kind of question the things that you thought were correct and constantly try to improve on them. Because if you're going into each game taking everything for granted, thinking that your own gameplay is fine and it's just your teammates, then you're looking at how to play the game incorrectly. Because the only changing factor between each solo queue game, the only thing that stays the same, stays constant, is your own gameplay, is yourself. You're going to be the only thing that's going to translate into every single game that you play. Yes, you're going to get teammates that aren't as good as you. You're going to get some opponents that are better than you. Your teammates might be better than you in some aspects. The way the league system works is that everyone's constantly fluctuating. There are going to be players that rise and there are going to be players that fall. It's all based on trying to figure out where everyone's skill level's at. But what you need to do is you need to try and improve your own gameplay, because focusing on everyone else's gameplay is only going to get you frustrated, and it's only going to make you stay at the same skill level that you're at. You need to constantly try and improve yourself, not the other people you're playing with. To improve, you have to accept that your gameplay is flawed. I think that everyone that plays this game has room to improve. Even the professionals, even the challenger players. Everyone has room to improve. I've been in challenger for a while, and I still feel like on a daily basis I can see things that I can consistently try and improve on. Another big thing that everyone can do is go into every game with an open mind. I think you can learn something in League of Legends from everyone. There's so much information that can be learned. There's so many matchups, so many item builds. There's just so many varieties. I think you can learn something from everyone. And it can be as simple as, maybe that didn't work, or wow, that really did work. Maybe I should try that. A lot of misunderstanding goes around solo queue as well. And what I mean by that is there are a lot of situations, individual situations, that just affect how you perceive the game. A lot of questions I get center around, what if my teammates get caught? What do I do? Well, my answer to this is, every situation is different. I can't give you an exact advice for a specific situation that I did not see. But what I can tell you is that you should go into every situation with a proactive attitude that you're going to change how you think about that situation every second that you go into it. And it is a judgment call, but you can't just blindly go in and help someone, because in a lot of cases that can be the worst thing that you can do. But at the same time, you can't just leave your ally out to dry because you're afraid to die. You have to think about the situation, and after the situation happens, you have to figure out, well, was it my fault or was it my teammate's fault? And whatever you come to the conclusion as, you need to try and not make that a big point of the game. Because even if it was your teammate's fault, you can't immediately blame your teammate, be like, oh, I was right, you were wrong. That's only going to make the game worse. And you shouldn't be afraid of what people will say and have that affect your gameplay. If you have a toxic player in your team, put them on, just mute them. Don't try to argue with them, just mute them. Because if it affects your gameplay, that's the most important thing that should be held to you, is your own gameplay. It doesn't matter if the toxic player is complaining that he didn't get ganks or his jungler is bad or something like that. Just mute him and keep playing the game. Another big question I get is, I keep losing games because my team won't group. They keep split pushing. What can I do? Well, my answer to this is, the way you win League of Legends is going to change from game to game. You're going to have games where, yeah, you can just group up and team fight and win. But you need to proactively look at what your team comp consists of and what you can do best on your team and what your teammates can do best. Because if you have a team comp that's not the best for team fighting, try and limit the amount of team fights that you get if you're behind. And you can do this by split pushing. And a lot of players don't think that they can win games through split pushing because the only thing that they've known for so long is grouping, pushing, and winning. And they don't let the idea of split pushing come into their mind. They think that split pushing is for players that aren't as good as them, or the players below them in whatever bracket. That's what they do. And by winning, by split pushing to win, that's something that was lucky or something like that. There are more than one way that you can win League of Legends, and I feel like players need to start accepting the fact that you don't have to just group to win. You can split push. You can backdoor. There's so many different strategies that can be brought forth. And just thinking that all you need to do is group and win is kind of flawed. What everyone should be striving to become is a well-balanced player. You're constantly learning. You're constantly redefining how you play League of Legends, what champions you play. Everything should be constantly changing. And the big focal point of this is you should focus on your own gameplay and not others. I cannot stress this enough. The only thing that's going to change, the only thing that's going to carry with you is your own gameplay. Yeah, you're going to get bad teammates sometimes. Yeah, you're going to get teammates that disconnect. You're going to have bad games. But you need to focus on your own gameplay and try to progress and try to get better. And the one way you can do this that I can consistently say is watch the games that you play and look for mistakes. You're going to see mistakes that your allies make, but you need to focus on your own mistakes and figure out how you can improve on them. Lastly, you need to go into each game with a renewed attitude. And what you can do by this is take a break between each game that you play. Because if you go into the next solo queue game after a hard loss, then it's only going to carry with you into the next game. And it's only going to make you play, a certain way. And it might not be the best way to win that game. If you're interested in lessons from me, I'm giving lessons for the next 30 days. After that, I don't know how long it'll be until I can give lessons again. Go to thevalkrin.com, and I'll have a form that you can fill out and an email address that you can email, and we can set up appointments that way. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click here if you want to subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.